Hello, farmers, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Harvest Season. My name is Rochelle.
And my name is Al.
And we're here today to talk about farming games.
Woo!
Woo!
Whoop, whoop.
Woo!
I mean, possibly.
Theoretically.
We could argue they're farming games.
I mean, technically. We're going to go on an adventure today. Don't worry about it. Say the topic. Today we're going to talk about a couple of mobile games for our second installment of mobile games, I guess.
Mobile games 2.
Yeah. I was going to make a joke and then I decided that was not appropriate.
Okay.
But first, we are going to go through some feedback. We're going to talk about what we've been playing. We're going to hit everyone's favorite section, the news. And then we're going to talk about mobile games. Is everybody ready for that?
Well, I'm ready.
Ready as you'll ever get?
Always.
All right. Well, then
I'm always on the same level of readiness.
The same level of readiness, which I guess for me would be okay, I guess. Like,
We
I guess
enjoy
I'm
this.
ready. Every single time.
Yeah.
All right then. So, first and foremost, you want to share some feedback, Al?
Yeah, we got a lovely 5-star review from Rusty Rooster 72 in the United States of America. It was a very nice review. Thank you very much. Good to see your review. Thank you. We like reviews. So if you want to give us a review, we would not complain about that.
Never ever. In fact, we might be thrilled. Thank you very much. I love seeing reviews every single time. It's just like through the roof with excitement. It's like, wow, people actually listen to us. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very exciting. I think that's all we have for feedback, right?
I think so, yeah.
All right then. So, Al, I have a question for you.
Go for it.
What have you been playing recently?
Well, I have been playing Pokémon.
What?
Yeah.
You never play that game.
I have decided that I was going to be playing some Pokemon, and that's how it goes.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Truly amazing.
I do, however, I feel like I'm at the point that you were at in the last episode, where I'm just coming kind of to the point where it will stop being the only game that I play. So I've completed everything in the game except the Alcremie Farms and the Gigantamax Pokemon. So I have 14% of the Alcremies. It will be 15% once we get off this podcast, because I was waiting for the night to happen so I could do another one.
Perfect.
But yeah, I'm getting there slowly, getting away at those
but surely.
daily battle cafes and sometimes getting a sweet. And
The exciting grind of...
Yep, and battling those Gigantamax Pokemon and not catching them. It's all great. It's great fun. But yeah, no, I've done everything else. This is the first Pokemon game that I've completed the ranks in the Battle Tower, so that's something.
That's very impressive. I got just far enough in the Battle Tower to unlock the IV checker and get Leon's rare league card, and then I stopped trying.
So have you just hidden that in the completion list then?
Yeah.
Don't want it staring you in the face of uncompletedness.
Nope. I'm not going to let any very helpful tool peer pressure me into doing things I don't want to do in video games. So
I mean, legitimately, I know I made the app, but I legitimately think that was the best feature I added in, the ability to just hide a section and just be like, nope, doesn't exist.
I agree. It's like, nope, battling doesn't exist. I hid the TMs, but then I got bored and I had a lot of money, so I unhid the TMs and then I bought all the TMs. So
the TMs are pretty easy to get if you get a decent amount of money, which if you're in post game, you should be able to get a lot of money very quickly.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you've been doing all those Magikarp raids over the last week. I think I made, a good 1.5 million just from the nuggets from the Magikarp raids.
Easy peasy.
Easy. And got 3 shinies, which is good.
Nice.
Very happy about that. And There was something else I was going to say. I can't remember what it was. No, the TMs are, yeah. I tell you what does take a long time, which I don't have a list for, is the technical records, which I am currently 2 away from having 1 of each.
That's very impressive.
They are so hard to get. It's like every day I will check each of the people that sell things for watts and see if they have any that I don't already have. And then obviously you get some from the raids, but it takes so long to get them all because you have no control over what you get most of the time.
I sell all the TRs, so
yeah,
I don't care.
I tend to sell down to 1, but I like to keep 1 of each just because. Well, I like to completion.
Yeah, that's fine. I, on the other hand, don't really care about teaching my Pokemon moves. So, I'm the worst. But what I've been playing recently is actually not Pokemon.
What?
Wow. I definitely got to the point where I was like, I'm going to get burned out on this real soon. So I switched games, and I have been playing the new Stardew Valley update. A lot. I started a new farm on the new map, which turns out I love a lot. Very, very fond of this. Really, really, really enjoying the update. I am in the middle of spring on year 3 right now on this farm. Very exciting. I have lots of animals. Let me tell you, you think shiny hunting is stressful in Pokemon. Hunting for a dinosaur egg.
Oh.
So stressful. And like part of the update is that there's a bunch of new items. So there's a whole bunch of new items that are in your shipping bin, which you have to complete to get a point towards Grandpa's evaluation. So I was like desperately trying to complete it before the end of year 2. And one of the new things is you can make dinosaur mayo with dinosaur eggs. So I was trying so hard. Like I was panicking, like end of fall, year 2, trying to find a dinosaur egg. Found one in the first week of winter, year 2, with just enough time to hatch a dinosaur and then make it produce an egg and then make mayo out of it to complete my shipping, which was the single last thing I had. Like literally days before the end of year 2. It was very stressful.
That does sound very stressful.
Yeah, very false sense of stress. Like I'm pretty sure I would have passed the evaluation without that. I did complete, I got the greenhouse faster than I've ever gotten the greenhouse ever. I got it in fall of year 1, which was wild. It did take me a year and a half to complete the community center, but very exciting. By the end of year 2, I had done the extra special new bundle at the end of the community center and unlocked the movie theater.
Ooh.
I'm really excited about the movie. Anyway, we're not talking about Stardew Valley today.
But it's more this podcast than Pokemon is, so.
But this update is really, really good. It has just like a trillion things added to it. It has like a lot of quality of life things that I didn't know I really wanted. For example, trash cans. Because I don't know about you, but I dig through all the trash cans every day because I'm one of those weirdos. And there's now like a little animation you can see so you can tell if it's been checked or not, whether or not it does the animation. Sometimes you'll accidentally throw off the trash can lid and then you'll collect it and it's a hat. There's a lot of hats. There's a lot more customization. You can have different breeds of dogs and cats as your pet. That was very exciting. I named my farm Postwick Farm, and I named all of my Pokemon after all of my animals after Pokemon. Wow, that's where my brain is at. Pokemon before
so you're only kind of off the Pokemon then?
Only a little bit. But most importantly, there's a little cat that looks like a Meowth, and so I got the little cat and I named it Meowth. I'm an adult. It's very, very fun. Are you using the new map as well? Yes, I am, and I love it.
So how does it? So obviously, okay, I was going to say it looks like it'd be really good for the multiplayer, but tell us how it works in single player. Is it good?
Yes, it's great. Okay, so the way it's kind of set up, so you have your square that is your map, and you have your farm in the top right corner, and there's kind of like little walls in the middle that section it off into 4 different sections, with presumably each section would belong to somebody if you had 4 people in a multiplayer farm. But each section has like almost like, so you have your top right section and your top left section, which are basically plain and normal. You have your bottom left section, which has a really big like fishing pond. Actually, correction, your top left section spawns a hardwood stump every single day, kind of like the forest farm.
Nice.
The bottom has a big fishing thing, kind of like the fishing farm, right?
Yeah.
The bottom right has a little mining node like the hill farm. So
cool.
So
it's kind of like a combination of a bunch of different farms.
I like it a lot. And in the very middle, you have your greenhouse and your warp spot and your pet and your cave in the very center, like where those four intersect.
Right.
The way
the cave's in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I love it. And it's right next to the warp spot. So like it's the end of the night and you can warp home and then you can go over and grab your mushrooms and then run back to your house before 2 a.m. It's beautiful. I love it very much. I'm really, really into this new map. A lot. I think it's my new favorite. The way it works for me in single player is that I have corners dedicated to things. So like my house on the top right, I also have like a little honey farm decorated with my complete collection of rare crows, including the new scarecrow that you can only get by completing your collection of rare crows. And I have like so I've got that in my top right with my house. I was like, what's that other building that's there? It's the house. And then in the top left, I have a bunch of like crafting things. Like I have my mill and I have a whole shed extended and large, extra large, which is just, I always go real hard on the artisan thing. So I'm just making lots of wine and jelly in there. On the bottom left, I actually have an entire farm of the new fish ponds. I only have 12 of them because that's about as many as I can realistically fit. That's not true. I could fit more if I didn't space them out as much as I do, but it looks really nice. It's beautiful. I'm farming a lot of fish. Let me tell you, I love the fish ponds. It's very, very exciting. They don't just like grow fish. There's also like a little chum bucket and they'll make items. So like you can get like roe, like fish eggs. You can make like caviar and stuff, but also depending on the fish and depending on how many fish you have in the pond, they'll spawn items. So like I have a fish that occasionally spawns beach warps and stuff like that. I have a fish that theoretically has an extremely small chance of spawning iridium ore, etc., etc., etc. It's really fun. I enjoy it a lot. Really, really into the fish ponds. Becoming a fish farmer. It's great. And in the bottom right, I have it. I have the bottom right gated off, and I just have all my animals there, and I just let them roam free in that entire corner. So
sounds good. Yeah, I do want to try out this map at some point.
It's really fun. I like it a lot. Like I said, it's my new favorite, so it's great.
I think the interesting thing about this is, we are now nearly 3 years after, I guess 2.5 years after Stardew came out on Switch. And it's 4 or 5 years after it came out on PC. And we're now a year into our podcast and we're still talking about new stuff in Stardew. Not just new stuff in Stardew, but new stuff in Stardew that is enough to bring us back to the game. It's pretty good.
It's really good.
Like no other game has this sort of level of updates and continuous change, if that makes sense. Like there's been 4 Pokemon games in that time.
4 Pokemon games and 1 Stardew Valley with a few updates. Up to 1.4 updates.
That's not how this works.
We're on? Let me have my dumb joke. Okay. Anyway, yeah, Stardew Valley. I'm really, 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 really enjoying it right now. This update is really good. If you haven't played in a while, definitely go back. There is enough there to be new and exciting.
Cool.
You can plant tea now. There's a lot more.
I'm sure if I was English, I would care about that.
I just think it's really cute.
No, sorry. It was just an English joke. Never mind.
You get one, I get one. No more for the rest of the episode.
I'm not, no promises there.
But it's really good. It's worth going back to if you haven't played in a while. Even if the last time you played, you felt like you came to a good final conclusion on it, go back and play it. There's a lot more. There's a ton. Like, I was hanging out with a friend recently, and I tried to read her the list of updates. It's so long. There's so much stuff that's been edited and added to, and quality of life updates and extra fun updates. A lot of character dialogue, actually. So, like, actually take time to read dialogue if you don't do that normally. Like, it's very fun.
I feel attacked here.
I mean, I was talking about myself, but, you know.
I'm the one that always never really figures out how to play games because I ignore everything.
Ow, ow, ow. I read everything usually the first time. And then by the time you get to your 8th farm, you're like, I don't need to read this dialogue. I know exactly what it says. And then you start on the new 1.4 update and you're like, oh, no, wait. I didn't know what that one said. Oh, no. And then you start reading things properly. And that's what I've been playing. That's not true. I've been playing another game, but we'll talk about it later, I guess.
Later. It's one of the mobile games.
Yes, it is. I say that as if it's going to be 100 years because we have 100 years of news. Are you ready for this news, Al?
Oh, well, no, the other thing before news is since the last episode, I remembered what your secret game that you've been playing is. Have you been playing that as well?
A little bit, but not quite as much.
Okay. I have started playing that as well. For listeners, when Rochelle said that she was playing a secret game and then I sounded like I was being dumb, I was being dumb. I should have known what the secret game is. You'll all know what the secret game is in hopefully 2 weeks. We'll find out.
We'll see.
Oh no, I put a date on it. That was a mistake.
Well, you can bleep it out in post.
I'm keeping it in. In. Let's see what happens. You can go on the news now.
All right. And now for some news. Are you ready for this 1,000-year list long of news?
I am ready.
Okay, Al.
Yeah.
Are you aware that you can now play Stardew Valley on a Tesla?
What? Yep. I mean, I have been considering buying a Tesla up till now, but I decided not to. Not because of the insane amount of money that it costs and the fact that I would never, ever have that much money to spend on a car, but it's because it didn't have Stardew on it, and I wouldn't buy it until that was ready. And Elon obviously heard me, and he went, you know what? I want Al to buy my car. I will put Stardew on the Tesla. Now, my life is complete. I can play Stardew while driving.
I don't know. This is very concerning to me.
Yeah, so this led me, when I found out this news, this led me to investigating. And apparently there are lots of games that you can play on the Tesla's touchscreen.
What?
It's not just Stardew. There are lots of them. And I just don't, presumably.
You're in a car, drive it.
I mean, presumably it's for like when you're not driving. So like you're waiting to pick someone up or something like that. But I just don't get it. Like, if you want to play Stardew in your car, just when you're not driving, obviously, just get it on your phone or your Switch. Like, I don't understand this. And also, what are the controls like on this thing? Because it's like a touch screen, isn't it? But it's not the mobile interface. It just looks like the PC interface, but on a touch screen.
I don't know, man. I can't tell you. I'm not rich enough to have a Tesla. So, if any of our listeners have a Tesla and
would like to tell us what it's like to play Stardew on it, please let us know.
Please let us know.
We are legitimately intrigued and confused by this whole thing.
I don't know if intrigued is the right word. Maybe like confused and mildly horrified.
I'm definitely intrigued.
I don't know. I see this going badly so quickly. Why are there games in just drive your car?
I mean, this is the thing, right? Even if you're going to go with the, it's a self-driving car, which it isn't, but let's say they get to 100% self-driving, right? And you are legally allowed to do stuff while driving because the car is doing all the work. I mean, I still don't understand who's going to want to just do it on the touchscreen in the car. Like, just use your phone. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Truly, this is something created by people who live in a different world than I do. So,
I mean, you're not wrong there. It was not made for us.
No, I am not the target audience whatsoever. So yeah, that's the news. Were you expecting more? There was no more.
It's been Christmas, right? There's no news.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks of holidays, so everyone's been out of the office. No one's been announcing news. So
New news.
that's all we got.
That's the news.
Woo!
Woo.
The best part of the show?
Sometimes it's the best part of the show, and then sometimes it's Stardew on a Tesla.
Yep. That's how it goes. You want to talk about something more exciting?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. So our topic today is mobile games too. So like the last episode, if you will recall, if you're a dedicated listener, what we did is we each picked a mobile game and played it for a little bit, and we're going to tell you about it. Al, would you like to go first?
Sure. So the game that I'm bringing this time is a special game. I feel like both of these games are special games. This game is called Eggs Inc., as in Eggs Incorporated. And I mean, the simple way to explain it is there are lots of chickens. There are so many chickens. I really hope you like chickens if you want to play this game. So basically, the premise behind this game is that you have discovered that eggs are the source to all of the problems in the world, and we can solve them all with eggs. And so you need to build up and research different types of eggs and create new types of eggs. And of course, sell them because, capitalism. And you make lots of money, and you investigate new types of eggs, and eventually you create eggs that do utterly ridiculous things, which I'll get into later. So the interface is quite simple. You have your hatchery, which is where your chickens are hatched, and you have the housing, so you can have up to 4 houses for your chickens. That's where they live, so that defines your maximum capacity of chickens, and you can upgrade that as you go along. You have your research facility, which is investigating new types of eggs, and it can also increase things like it can make your chickens lay more eggs quicker and make them worth more and stuff like that. It's all very complicated. There's lots of different things. You've got your silos, which allow it to run in the background when you're not there, and you've got your shipping depot, which is where you define how quickly you can sell the eggs. So you can make eggs quicker than you can sell them, and obviously that's not ideal, so you want to increase your total amount of shipment. And that's about it. There's a big button that you press, and it hatches a chicken, and you press it lots, you hatch chickens, and they make eggs. And
wow.
and that's about it. It's obviously more complicated than that. You have a bunch of upgrades, and you can. So, for example, there's an upgrade that allows you to hold down on the button to hatch a chicken, and so you can generate chickens really, really quickly. There are lots of different upgrades. I can just go through a few of them. For example, you can have. So there's a limit to how many eggs you can have in your hatchery. So if you hatch chickens too quickly, you can't hatch any more until the hatchery refills. So you can speed up how quickly the hatchery will refill. You get bonuses for the number of chickens you have running around. It's so stupid. You can increase capacity. You can increase the value of your eggs, or many different other things. You use your money to use the upgrades, and then eventually, at some point, it says that you have a new type of egg that you can create. So currently, I'm on the graviton egg, which allows for the manipulation and creation of gravitational fields.
Okay.
And the base value of them is 175,000. And once I reach a farm value of 716 nonillion, that's nonillion, you can then discover the next egg. And my farm value is currently 15 octillion, so I've got a long way for that one. Spoiler alert, I will never get there. I mean, it's an idle clicker game, right? So you're basically clicking to generate eggs, and then occasionally you can go through the lists to upgrade things to make the numbers go bigger quicker. but it's based around eggs. If anyone ever played the paperclip game, it's basically that, but eggs and a fancy UI. It's fun, but yeah, it's not the sort of game that I'm going to play for a long time. I mean, I put far too much time into this game as it is. The fact that I've gone... So I think there are 20 different types of eggs that you can unlock, all the way from the first one, which is just an edible egg. You then go to the superfood egg, the medical egg, which can replace basically any medication. You've got the rocket fuel egg,
this is how science works.
It is, of course. The rocket fuel egg, which is exactly as it sounds. The super material egg, fusion egg, which is where things really start taking off because you can basically replace all of your electricity in the world and you basically become this all-consuming capitalist monster. You've got the quantum egg, the immortality egg, which just feels like a way of keeping people alive so they can buy more eggs. The tachyon egg.
I'm really enjoying this like dystopian egg future.
It's really interesting the story behind that. And I'm kind of intrigued to see what the last egg is, but I might just see if someone's written it on the internet because I really don't think I can go through this anymore. It was fun to start with, and then I got to the point where I was like, right, well, I want to get as far as I can, and then I got to the point where like, this is just utterly ridiculous. Like, how long it will take me to get any higher.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I want to keep going with that. But it was definitely fun to start with, and so hopefully I can find on the internet what the end game eggs are. There's also temporary boosts that you can do as well, which just feels like a way of trying to get money because you can pay to get upgrades, or occasionally it'll say, hey, you can get some boosts, and there's a bunch of your usual money making things. So you can buy boosts, you can buy to have... at most you can have like 2 boosts at a time, but if you pay, you can increase that to 5 boosts. You can only have 2 grain silos by default, which is how long it will keep hatching eggs while you're away from the game. You can then pay to upgrade that. I mean, it's not a ridiculous amount of money, right? I think it's something like 10 quid or something to pay for everything in the game. Other than a few extra boosts after that, but you don't really need to do that. That it just speeds up the game. There's nothing else it does. So you can 100% play this game without the money. It just it drags a bit if you don't pay the money. But it's not a massive thing. I mean, it has a lot of fun gimmicks in it, right? So the housing can be quite fun. You go from like a small shack up to things like egg Kia, which is like IKEA but egg, and that can house a million chickens in it. These sorts of things. There's a bunker. There's a hangar. There's like a skyscraper you can get. There's one which is Eggtopia, all the way up to Chicken Universe, which costs 321 decillion or whatever it is, but you can have 1.2 billion chickens in it. So it's got a lot of fun little things in it like that. You get to a point where you basically invent hover vehicles to get your eggs to people quicker. I don't know how people can use this many eggs, but I'm not going to question it. They keep buying them from me for some reason. Truly,
I want to read the fan fiction that is the dystopian future of.
There's a lot of possibility there.
So listeners, please tweet at us your Egg Inc. fan fiction with a horrible dystopian egg society.
Oh, here we go. I know what the top egg is. I don't want to give it away on the podcast. But I do have a list. I mean, the best bit is that so you can do these contract farms, which is where you create like a second farm, because somebody wants you to do a specific thing and invent a specific type of egg. And there are 5 different ones you can get only that way. One of which is the chocolate egg. They've got the Easter egg. I'm not really sure what the difference between those two is, but anyway, let's not get into that. There's the firework egg. The water balloon egg, and what I think might be your favourite, Rochelle, the pumpkin egg.
Pumpkin egg!
Pumpkins are in super high demand. Leave it to the chickens to deliver the goods.
Okay. This is how pumpkins work.
So there are a lot of different eggs, and you can play this game for a long time.
Truly wild. Truly wild.
It really is.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
First question. Would you suggest this game to other people?
So I quite like having a game that sits on my phone and doesn't require much thought, and it's just like, when you're kind of standing waiting for some food to cook or whatever, and you don't want to just mindlessly look through the hellscape that is Twitter. You want to just do something else. It's quite fun to have an idle clicker like that. For those sorts of situations, yes, I would. If you actually want a game that is interesting and fun, probably not. Like all of the, oh, that's a fun little Easter egg in it. You can just look up the wiki because there is a fandom wiki for egging, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can just look at that and you get all of that fun without playing it. But yeah, it's not, I don't hate it, but I'm done with it, if that makes sense. I had fun for some of it because I thought it was quite fun to read through these different things and see all the fun Easter eggs and stuff like that. But it's not something that I can see myself doing really for any longer.
Yeah. I mean, that's why there's so many phone games, right? Because people get bored of them real quick.
Yeah, true that. And that's why we'll have content forever.
Forever. Can't wait for 50 years from now when we're doing mobile games 347. Don't hold me to that.
Oh, dear.
Those episodes are like 10 minutes long. We're like, this one's an Egg Inc. clone. Next.
Yeah, just another Egg Inc. clone.
Let me tell you, the number of like heyday clones out there. The roof.
Oh, dear.
All right. Here's another question I have for you. Are there ads in this game?
There are ads, yeah. So it does the fun of... so it does... I think I might be wrong, and my phone's running out of battery, so I can't confirm this. But I think the only ads are if you choose to see them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you choose to see them, you get in-game bonuses and stuff like that. So it's kind of the least bad way to do ads, I think, where you have to choose to view them and you get something in the game for it. I'd be interested to see how well that works out for them in terms of making them money, because, does that make more money than just shoving the ads in people's faces? And does it make more money than people wanting to upgrade the game actually pay money themselves? It would be an interesting thing to see, but yeah, they do, but they're not. They don't feel over the top,
Mm-hmm. So I've been thinking about ads in mobile games a lot recently. And I do think that's the best way to do it. So for my game, I originally played a different game. Well, I had picked a different game and downloaded a different game. And it had pop-up in your face ads that were so obnoxious that I literally got so stressed out. This is going to sound really dramatic. I threw my phone, but when I say I threw my phone, I was laying in bed and I mostly just dropped it on my face. I just was so frustrated. I was I can't do this anymore. I got a couple hours into it and was I literally can't do this ever again in my life. So I deleted it and started a new one, which also does I show you an ad when you ask for an ad and you get in-game benefits for it. Yeah. Kind of a thing, which I think, first of all, if I have to watch mobile game ads, I would prefer it to be consensual. I would rather be able to skip it if I'm really not feeling it in that moment. You know what I mean? I'll take the hit to my bonuses if I really don't want to watch another horrible phone game ad. The ads on these things are so terrible.
Especially when you play one of these idle games, because you just get all of the ads for all of the idle games, and you're just I have seen this one ad for this Dragon's Merge game about 1 billion times and I've never clicked on it. What makes you think I'm going to click on it now?
Oh my gosh, Al, I would die to get more ads for the Dragon Merge game. I get so many ads for these zombie games that are horribly offensively character racist stereotypes, and I get so many ads for these spin the wheel to win real money games that are clearly extremely poorly photoshopped and stuff. It's so, I would even take the horrible spin for real, quote unquote real money ads if I didn't have to watch all the like horribly like disgustingly like racist caricature offensive ones. Like, it's awful.
That's really interesting because I've not been having any of that. It's mostly for me Dragon's Merge and like there's what is it, AFK Arena, which is like the extreme of idle games where it explicitly says that you basically only play the game by not doing anything.
Beautiful.
So I've basically mostly been getting ads for them rather than anything else.
I wonder if that's like a country regional difference, because I get mostly those two. I get the occasional Dragon Merge. I get the occasional Angry Birds. Let me tell you, as someone who like, I deleted my Facebook before it was cool to delete your Facebook, like many years ago, and it took me a long time because Facebook is extremely aggressive.
It's so hard to do that. It's so hard.
It's so hard. Let me tell you, to this day, I genuinely live in fear. Everybody sends me every time somebody sends me a link to something on Facebook, I am like genuinely terrified. Like, I will not click your link. Do not send it to me. Because the number of times people just sent me things and it was like, oh, you wanted to look at this public picture that you can look at publicly without joining Facebook? We reactivated your Facebook account for you. Like,
I don't know whether they think they're trying to be useful or whether it is just completely.
They're just trying to force people to stay.
It is literally just like, oh yeah, well we'll keep your account in our records, and if you want to just come back and we'll reactivate it. And you're like, no, that's not what I want.
Yep. And basically, anyway, that was an ordeal. It's horrible. It's terrifying. The other one that I was watching was forcing me, not only popping up ads in my face, but 3/4 of them were Facebook ads. And I was just like, I can't do this. I don't need to watch Facebook ads. It was horrible.
Wait, who sees an ad for Facebook and goes, oh, Facebook, I've never heard of that. Let me go try it.
I don't know. I don't know. Leave me alone, Facebook. Anyway.
Big mood.
So that's ad, which transitions to my game, which is Stardew. No, it's not.
Stardew Mobile.
Although, to be fair, I actually have been playing Stardew Mobile recently. I have thoughts about it, but that's not the game I'm covering today.
What is the game you're covering today, Rochelle?
Today, we're gonna, much in the vein of idle capitalism, dystopia, egg ink. I've played a game called Idle Farming Empire.
Here's a question for you. What is it about mobile farming games that they always seem to err on the this is capitalism side of things, whereas the like full-fledged farming games tend to go about you're just in a village and you're trying to live your life, you're trying to be self-sustainable. Why is there that massive gap between the two of them? What is it about? Oh wait, it's the money-making thing.
It's capitalism.
It's how they make the money, isn't it?
Yep, it's how they make the money.
Oh, okay, right. Sorry, this is not our anti-capitalist podcast. That launches later this year.
That one coming out soon. Perfect. So, in Idle Farming Empire, I don't know what about this makes it an empire, but that's okay. You have a 3x3 9-square plot of land in between a farm and a pond and a barn. And on this plot of land, in each little square, you plant a thing.
A thing.
So, like, a thing. So, the first square you can get, different squares, you can put different things on them, and sometimes they're crops and sometimes they're animals. And often they're whimsical. So, like, the first one you could ever get is worms. I don't know why you're farming worms, but you're farming worms.
Someone has to, Rochelle. Someone has to.
I mean, you're not wrong, but also... Does it have to be me? Yes, it has to be me until I upgraded and I finally got turtles for my square one.
Nice.
Like I said, whimsical. So you start with your first square and it just every amount of time it generates some money. And then you collect the money by clicking on it and gathering the money. And then eventually you can buy upgrades. For example, you can upgrade it to like automatically cycle through collecting money. So rather than it generates one coin and then stops until you collect the coin, it just continuously generates one coin and builds up for you. Or you can upgrade them by planting more of them. This sounds
you don't sound very sure.
Well, it is literally called planting mode, and you plant more of them, but you plant more. Like some things, it's like plant more carrot, plant more oranges. But then it's also like plant more worms, plant more turtles. It's very strange. Which you can do in chunks. So like every extra one you plant.
Chunks of turtles.
Yes. So every extra one you plant ups the value that it generates, but then there's like checkpoints. So like when you get to 25, it cuts the production time in half, et cetera, et cetera. And then the more money you unlock, you can unlock new squares up to 9. Each square has like a different set of crops it can pull from, many of which are unlocked. You can only get 1 crop per square in the beginning, and you have to unlock more crop through an exciting upgrade option called shoe boxes, which is like...
What?
Let me explain. This one actually does make sense. So the premise of it is that you find an old shoebox of seeds in a cellar somewhere, which sounds ridiculous, but this actually happens sometimes. Let me tell you. No, true story. I actually was thinking about this recently. By recently, I mean sometime in the last year, because time isn't real, where there was a while, like many years ago, there was a particular melon that was grown in Colorado that was very, very mildly famous. And then they like a harvest died and etc. And there were no more of them ever for a lot of years. And then literally, the family literally was just like cleaning out a barn, and they were like, oh, this is a box of seeds for those melons, and we have those melons again now. Like, I'm not kidding, this truly happens.
I'm so confused right now, but okay, continue. So shoeboxes, right?
Shoeboxes, you can collect new seeds, but the way it works is that like each crop, which I feel very strange, it is a crop, it's just very strange because sometimes your crops are giraffes. So each crop consists of like 4 squares. And so you're basically doing a random pull with your shoebox to get a random square. So you have to randomly pull 4 of them to unlock a crop. You can actually pull doubles. And what that does is once you like collect 4 of something you already had, it gives it like a little boost upgrade to its base value. So like at least when you pull duplicates, they're worth something. I believe there are 62 different crops. I currently have 20 of them. I just unlocked... I say they're pumpkins, they're really jack-o'-lanterns.
I mean, what else would pumpkins be for, right?
Jack-o'-lanterns and seeds. Just so you know, everything on this has a terrifying face. All of your crops have a terrifying face.
Oh dear.
This turtle looks like it thinks I'm gonna murder it, and it's horrifying. So basically you're doing that, and you're gathering more money. It kind of eventually, as you upgrade, you start getting more and more exponential with your values as per the nature of idle games.
Of course. But
then what you do is you unlock this ability to send your stuff to the market. And don't panic. I did this the first time I did this. I did not... Okay. Criticism of this game. There's literally no tutorial. They literally never explain anything to you. So the first time I ever sent something to the market and it completely wiped my entire farm clean, I panicked because I was like, I put a day and a half into this farm.
Oh no.
Where did you just go with it? This is awful. I'm going to have to spend another day and a half to get another farm. You don't have to. So what happens when you send stuff to the market is you get like 2 benefits. First and foremost, you get a % profit bonus. So how do I word this? So you start off with 0, where you just have your regular bonus. And then maybe you send it to the farm and you get a 10% bonus. So now the next time you plant things and you make your farm, everything is worth 10% more. And this builds every time you send stuff to the market. So like, whereas my worms created a single coin at first, at the very beginning, every time. Now the base default for mine is, what's my % bonus right now? 176 billion.
That's quite a few more.
Yeah, it's a lot. So, like, it doesn't take... So, like, the first time you have to take a bunch of time to build up the money to buy the upgrades. And then you send it eventually. And then the next time, like, it doesn't take quite as long. Like, this time I unlocked... The last time I did it, I unlocked almost the entire 9 squares. with a single collection of money at the very beginning, which is impressive considering, like I said, it's exponential. I think the last square, so there's millions, billions, trillions, and then it goes into double letters. So after trillion, it's AAs and then BBs and then CCs. And it's like, it is, the ninth square is 888 CCs. So that's trillions, then 1, 2, 3 above trillions. That's a lot of money. So I did that all in one click. It was great. And then on top of that, we have bonuses, of course. So you have you watch your ads, you get your bonuses. There's like a little sunshine where the sun grows, and then for 20 seconds, everything you collect is doubled in value. And they really want you to like really go at it and do all the collecting and swiping with your fingers, and you don't have to. Things just continuously build. So if you just wait till the last couple seconds and then swipe and gather everything, you're fine. I'm just like, I don't have the energy for this game. There is rain, so you can watch ads and get 4 hours of rain, which doubles your profit. You can actually watch a bunch of ads in a row and get up to 32 hours, which is actually kind of nice. Like, I do that sometimes, like when I'm at work and not really paying attention to it. I'm just like, yeah, play an ad while I go tell my employee how to do his job right for the 5th time. Perfect.
Shh, don't tell them. They'll take away your bonuses.
Nah, they wouldn't dare. There is a daily login bonus, and there are daily goals. The way the goals work is every day. What it is about every 12 hours, it will generate 3 goals for you. It only generates new ones if you tell it to reset or you finish a goal. But then once you complete 12 of them, you get a rainbow, and the rainbow multiplies all of your profits by 3 for 12 hours. So that's pretty good. You can get lots of bonuses, and that's on top of like the money that you gather. You use it to, like I said, plant more of whatever your crop is, or like there's a shop where you buy bonuses that multiply your value and stuff like that. That's also, so seed shoeboxes, you can either randomly get them just by gathering things, or you can buy them for money, except that the shops reset every time you go to market. So you have to start and buy all your upgrades all over again every harvest season, I guess. But the shoe boxes never reset. They just keep going up exponentially. So, like, the next shoebox I can buy is 8.5 FFs. We'll see how long it takes me to get there.
That's an expensive shoebox.
Yes. But like I said, your money goes up
exponentially.
Like, right? I mean, giraffes, obviously.
That explains why they're so expensive, I guess, if you've managed to fit giraffes in.
Mm-hmm. Your grandfather's secret tiny giraffe crop.
Now, tiny giraffes, I would pay money for tiny giraffes.
Mm-hmm. So would other people, apparently.
Clearly.
There is a connect to Facebook feature. I truly do not know what it is or what it's like, because I don't mess with that. I don't mess with Facebook. I promise. I did not necessarily expect for this to come full circle, but it did. I don't mess with Facebook. So I can't tell you what that's like. I do know that if you connect it to Facebook, you can unlock a very particular crop from the very beginning. I believe it, butterflies, I think.
Ooh.
There is also a feature with little birds where there's these birds that hang out on a power line. And if you watch ads, they will gather items for you. And the more you watch, I think you can watch up to 6 ads to get 6 rewards, but it takes 18 hours. So there's that. And just in case that one farm wasn't enough for you, there's a thing you can unlock called Profit Pastures.
Ooh.
Where you can go into this zoom out map and there's more farms where you do the exact same thing. But the gimmick with this one is that they're like timed challenge events, essentially. So you'll get your farm and you'll have like a set of goals you're trying to meet, and you do it from the beginning. But each one kind of has a gimmick. So like there's a desert farm that your money generates really, 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 really slowly because it's a desert and it's hard to grow things. And you have like 48 hours to complete all the goals, which is kind of a challenge. But then there's like a county fair one where all your money generates really, 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 really fast, but all of the rewards you have to hit are really, really, really high value and things like that. So, just in case you were bored, there is a workshop where you can upgrade, your main farm, and it does stuff like, I'm trying to think what the first thing you unlock is like. I think it was just like multiply everything, like get an extra 20% value on literally everything you harvest, etc., etc. There's a whole bunch of those. And you unlock those by using nuts and bolts, which are the rewards you get from the event farms. So you do the event farms to do upgrades to your main farm, and then you have your main farm, and it's you make lots of money, and you find lots of shoe boxes, and you unlock crops, and you level up. You have levels. They have extraordinarily stupid names.
Are they stupid like Egg Kia or?
No, they're stupid like Uber farmer.
Oh, don't you want to be an Uber farmer though? No,
I am an Uber farmer.
No, wait. From what you've explained in this game, that could very well mean that you're actually farming Ubers. I just have to check that's not the case.
It's not, and I'm mildly disappointed.
See, I wouldn't be surprised if you'd said it was, right? Based on what you've said previously about the game.
Honestly. Ugh. There are silos in this, kind of like in Egg Inc. and all the other idle farming games, where while you're away, it will gather coins for you. You, rather than building more of them, though, you just upgrade it, which takes gems, which are a paid currency, but you earn them by, like, leveling up and stuff, so, like, and doing daily tasks. So you don't necessarily have to spend money to get gems. I have a fair amount of gems, and I've never spent $1 on this, which I'm fine with never spending $1 on this. Yeah, that's about it. Like, you just do a farm, and then you sell your farm. And
I feel like these games, the two games that we've picked, sound very, very similar in a lot of ways.
It's almost just as if they're both idle games.
It's just that mine is only chickens and eggs.
And mine is giraffes and raspberries and jack-o'-lanterns. And seals. I have seals right now.
So I guess same. So you've already told us about the ads. Is basically the same as in Eggs Inc. So the other question back to you is: would you suggest this game for anybody, anyone at all?
I think I would, if you need just like an idle game to get you through a little bit every now and then. Like maybe, like I check in on mine like maybe once a day. I'm not that super intensely into it, but if you have like that completionist urge to collect things, like collecting the seeds in the shoe boxes is pretty fun. It's really easy to play this game without putting money into it, so if you need a game that you're not going to be tempted to put money into, this is a pretty good one. It's fine. It is a fine mobile game.
And that's what this podcast is all about. Fine games. Games that make you go,
fine.
Huh.
Pretty much. I will say, but also like mobile is not my really preferred like system, I guess.
I've found that these episodes that we've done so far, and I feel like we're going to do more in the future. It's interesting because it's very different types of farming games to what we would normally cover. But it's definitely not something that we would be able to get like a whole episode on one game.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, I struggle to get much to talk about after it's just eggs. But it's not something that I would spend the majority of my farming time doing is one of these games.
Yeah.
Either these two or the two that we talked about before.
Agreed. But if you're just like sitting in the doctor's office, waiting for your appointment, it's a good thing to pass 10 minutes, you know what I mean?
Mindless tapping if you don't want it to be, Twitter.
Mindless swiping if you want to play Idle Farming Empire.
Oh, that was the one thing I missed on mine that I forgot to say. You get to shoot down drones in my game.
Ooh, fun.
So there are drones that fly over, and I don't know why. Like, there's no disadvantage to letting them just fly away. But if you shoot them down, you get money. I'm not sure what the model of that story is, but
don't like this.
I don't like it either. But
Eggs Inc. is truly a dystopia.
Yeah, what are these drones doing? Why are they just trying to are they doing espionage? Is that what it is? Like, they're trying to figure out how I've made my eggs?
It's truly baffling. I don't know, man.
I mean, if there was a disadvantage to not hitting them, I'd understand. But yeah, it's really weird. So yeah, shoot down some drones in the game, not in real life.
At least my game doesn't have a secret dystopia story, so...
So yeah, I mean, if you like idle clickers and you want one which is farming related, here are two for you. If you want eggs or to plant giraffes, you get to choose which.
Okay. I currently have like 400 giraffes in my plot.
That's a lot of giraffes. I presume they're not all on screen at the same time.
No, it just shows a single giraffe. Oh, I will say, that's a problem I ran into in this game. Because it has a ton of animation, it occasionally just like freezes up.
Right.
So like they went too hard because like they all have like idle animations, and then like all of the little bonus things like the birds and the sun and the truck and stuff have little idle animations, and then when you swipe them it has an additional animation it puts on top of that, on top of which it also has an animation of sending the coins to your bank and sending the XP to your XP bar, and it's just too much at once sometimes. Happening. Yeah, it's way too much. So it does freeze occasionally. Be mindful of that. But on the bright side, it continues to generate money, so...
So that's Mobile Games 2.
Welcome to the end of Mobile Games 2. We'll see you next time for Mobile Games 3 and Mobile Games 4. We're now a mobile farming game podcast.
Those episodes will be whenever we can't be bothered to organize another episode.
It's a really good fallback plan, though.
Look, it's the 3rd of January just now as we're talking, okay? Yeah. No judging.
It's been a wild couple weeks. I work in shipping. This is the worst time of year for shipping.
Yeah, and I'm sure it doesn't get much easier in January because everyone's just returning things.
Everyone returns things, and everyone who got an Amazon gift card are ordering stuff on Amazon. Oh,
disaster.
Ugh. Stop shipping boxes of things. Thank you. So, if you would like to tell us about what you shipped in a box this holiday season, or what your favorite mobile game is, you can tweet at us at THSPod. You can email us on our website, harvestseason.club. Al, where can they find you?
You can tweet me what the largest animal you've managed to put in a shoebox is. You can find me at the ScottBot on Twitter. That's 1 T in each of those words. Also, please don't put animals in shoeboxes, especially not giraffes.
Unless the shoebox is left open and the animal is a cat. Cats love boxes. If you want to, if you can tweet at me what your favorite movie in Stardew Valley is, or what your favorite hat in Stardew Valley is, or what your favorite Fidel Arming Empire animal you found in a shoebox is, you can send that information to at Miss Delaney. Delaney has 2 L's on Twitter. And until next time, have a good harvest. Woo! The Harvest Season is created by Rochelle Delaney and Al McKinley. Our art is done by Micah the Brave, and our music is done by Nick Burgess. Feel free to visit our website, theharvestseason.club, for show notes, including links to things we discussed and transcripts for every episode. Thanks for listening.
Why is the plural of giraffe giraffes and not giraffes?
Language?
Well, it's like, normally when a word when a noun ends with an F, it's not. It's ending with an E. But normally, right, you then change it to a V, E. I think I answered my own question because it doesn't end with an F. It ends with an E.
Sure. There you go. And also because language. Language does what language wants, okay?
Huzzah.